No! God, please, no! No! What?
Looking a cow in the ass.
What? You what?
Then
Get a cow in the ass.
a cow in the ass.
Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV, your one-stop shop for all the latest Manchester United content.
Nice.
Here we tend to bring you all the positive facts about Manchester United on the pitch and off the pitch, or what we say win, lose or draw, or in this platform we tend to say win, lose or show, giving you a kind of a voice over reasoning, because mental health is certainly an issue if we win, lose or draw. But you know, being a patriot passionate, right, we tend to stick together and we don't practice treason, do we? Hurry, 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 Maguire. Dun, 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 dun. Hurry, 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 Maguire. You run to West Ham. Yariba, yariba. So wait a minute, Mick. Why 10 things? Why not 5 things like Stevehausen does? Well, it's 10 things like Ten Hag people. Use a logic and reasoning. And also we're trying to compile things in 10 minutes. Because here we love them, we hate them, we adore them. But of course, we never ignore them. We're talking about the facts. We're talking about 10 things that we learn about Manchester United this week. We are giving them the roses, but we also give them the thorns. Why? Because we are the Red Devils with the horns. So let's stick together. Let's do this. Let's talk about 10 things we learned about Manchester United this week.
Let's get ready to rumble! No! God, please, no! No! What?
Alright then, let's do this. Number 1 must be cohesion. Do we know each other? It was like watching 2 games in the Premier League. Of course, we are back. We're talking about the game we played at Old Trafford against Wolves and the away game yesterday against Spurs. With a mixed bag of results, it looked like 11 men, like Stevie Wonder, blind at discotheque, looking for the Thatchers, looking to find each other. There was no simple cohesion. Whatever they were trying to do, it was not working. It looked like, some people say, jet lag, and we left the leg in USA. We still looked like it was a slumber party. Of course, we barely scraped through 1-0 victory at Old Trafford against Wolves. Some people say it's lucky. I call it 3 points. That was vital. Going back to the game against Spurs yesterday, it was rectified. We thought that, the boys might learn something. We looked pretty decent in the first half, to be honest. We had the game control. It was against 𝑴𝒊𝒄𝒌 𝑹𝒆𝒂𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒕. Some people call him before 𝑖𝒊𝒄𝒌, but he had a game plan and they scored a goal. And our boys looked like we were not really there. There was no fight, no cohesion. And this is some of the senior players that played with each other last season over 63 games. So must be cohesion. That must be cohesion. Which leads us to the next point, number 2.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Now point number 2 must be that players don't really understand Erik ten Hag's new system. I don't think that we as a fans also don't understand. It means that Mount and Bruno cannot play together, 100% cannot play together, and they don't really understand the the Onana ball. As playing out from the back is what Ten Hag wants, but still the fullbacks are still living with De Gea in their minds, and we saw that against Wolves, that both Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and most of them were pinned back, not really bombing forward. We saw a little bit of improvement against Spurs, but the Onana ball makes a difference in how he pings the ball. Onana makes a difference, but however, it's clear and obvious from the first game with Wolves that playing with 2 number 8s high up the pitch, creating that isolation with Casemiro that doesn't have the engine legs as of yet, and leaves both Shaw and Casemiro exposed. We thought from the first half that Ten Hag learned something about it, that the player learned about it. But boy oh boy did we see the same lineup against Spurs. So that must be on Erik ten Hag, that the system needs to have the right players. Bruno and unfortunately Mason Mount cannot play together as 2 number 8s high up the pitch. I get what he's trying to do, but it's not working. That leads us to point number 3.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Point number 3 leads automatically into the midfield. I am so grateful we actually got a Carrick replacement in Casemiro, but this season alone you cannot leave Casemiro playing in a single pivot to be the only person that sits back. It does not work. I can see what Ten Hag is trying to do with playing 2 number 8s, but it does not work. If I was Ten Hag right now, I'll pick up the phone and give Amrabat a call ASAP, get that deal over the line. If we're going to continue playing this way, knowing that we don't trust McTominay to do the job, knowing that we don't have Fred anymore, all I can see in these 2 games was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's the famous Donald Hole McFred. We don't want that. We want to improve that midfield. We don't want to get overrun, because in 2 games in a row we've seen how the opponents has been slicing that midfield with the ball carriers in terms of Matheus Nunes, and we even saw 𝒖𝒊𝒄𝒌 also cutting through like a butter in a frying pan. Ten Hag, pick up the phone, give us an Amrabat that can play that destroyer next to a Casemiro, and now we'll be cooking. This leads us to next point, point number 4.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Before we continue on point number 4, I just needed to add on point number 3, which is the midfield. Obviously we need what we've been told. We've been kind of linked to Gravenberch as a seasonal loan from Bayern Munich. I take that in a heartbeat. We need that ball carrier as well, so we can have a very competitive midfield. But we need to talk about point number 4, which is Butcher Martinez. He doesn't look match fit. He doesn't look that he is kind of enjoying his football. It's not the Butcher that we are used to see. 2 games in a row he's been, okay, we're talking about receiving that yellow card, and Ten Hag took him off against the Wolves to protect him. Against Spurs, he was at fault for 2 goals. His deflection and the second goal that just fizzled back and went straight into the goal, and there was nothing Onana can do. So it breaks my heart to say, because leage is one of my favorite players, and I can arguably say that most of you Manchester United fans fancy leage as well. And all I can say is we need a match fit, hungry, passionate destroyer leage to come back into the team. So let's do this. We need our Butcher back.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Now point number 5, since it's number 5, automatically leave to the shirt number 5, which is Harry Maguire. Hurry, Maguire. Hurry, Maguire. You run to West Ham. Yariba. That's been stinking up the place and sabotaging Erik Ten Hag's plan. I'm so tired of this story. Basically, Ten Hag has told him and his agent that he's not part of his plan. He's been stripped of his captaincy. West Ham and United had a principled deal in place, but it's Harry Maguire and his agent to say, I am bigger than the club. I don't want to play for West Ham, and if you want to move me on, pay me 15 million or whatever, just pay me. But I don't fancy West Ham. I'm bigger than that. So your slab head is bigger than everything else, and you gotta look yourself in the room, because you're not gonna play. Ten Hag demonstrated against Spurs. He was not even on the bench. He was not even part of the squad. So who is the winner here? It's all about leverage. At the end of the day, Ten Hag knows what he's doing. Ten Hag got even CR7 out of the door. So what does he think, that he cannot get Harry Maguire out? I hope so that Harry Maguire, within the 2 weeks left of the window, finds a new club, because the outs is very, very important, because he's not part of the plan. He's not going to sit there and stink up the bus. Ten Hag's not going to pick him. He's going to play with the reserves. So Harry Maguire is a toxic, stinking bastard that needs to get out right now, right here, right now. I personally drive him.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Now, point number 6 is that we don't need a one-horse show pony trick. Yeah, we know we're talking about Anthony Dos Santos, giving me a little bit of a benefit of the doubt from last season, but this season alone, this is Ten Hag signing for costing about 100 million. I sense that the fan base are losing the patience. When you see the likes of Pellistri, when Pellistri comes in, goes direct, we haven't seen the product of Dos Santos. He doesn't really take on his player on the right wing, and he does what he does best, and that is cutting in and doing his signature, curling in the ball into the left corner. That didn't work. Hit the woodwork a couple of times, but it's not the output that the fan base are expecting. That also leads us into Marcus Rashford needs to play on his right position. Marcus Rashford, I don't want to see him to play again as a number 9. Marcus Rashford belongs to the left wing. And Garnacho, on the other hand, is too young to be given the responsibility. Garnacho, for me, it's more a suitable weapon to come in when it's like a second half, when defenders are tired, coming in at 65th minute to come in and make a difference. That is the best attributes of the young Garnacho at the moment, because there's nothing worse what a defender hates is when you constantly have 2 attacking wingers constantly running at them. So yeah, that leads us to number 7, striker position.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Okay, the striker position is the key target for Manchester United. Even from last season, was the key priority to get into the door. Now, we got Rasmus Højlund over, but he's not really match fit and ready to play yet. And on the other hand, we have Martial that just came back from injury, so we have nothing to really to bank on at the moment. So we're playing Rashford as a number 9. Rashford is not a number 9, and we're playing Jadon Sancho as a false number 9. So we're crying out desperately for a 20-year-old to lead the line. It's not good enough, simply, and we don't really know, what the end product will be as of yet with Højlund. 100%, I'm dying to see, but that leads us to the striker position and the shit show what's going on with Mason Greenwood. But at the end of the day, we need firepower. I look at from that holistic perspective. If the club welcomes back at least Greenwood, I wouldn't really care. That's the thing. I care about the club, and we need striker firepower. If we don't get a recruit another striker at the end of the window, we have to go what we got. And what better way is to sort of look at, okay, if a Martial is fit, that's great. Together with a Højlund and together with a Greenwood, I think where we are at least halfway there in formulation to cook, but we don't really know. We don't really know what the outcome of Rasmus Højlund would give. So therefore, if there's any money left in the transfer market, go and get a striker 100% together with the midfield, and we'll be cooking 100%. Let me know what you're thinking. Maybe I'm delusional, but that's just my thoughts.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
Number 8 is the taboo topic of Manchester United fan base that you are not allowed to mention. And it comes down to Mason Greenwood. It comes down to the club make a freaking announcement already, because the divide and conquer is massive at the moment. We have a shit show building up in terms of, first we had the takeover news, then we had the transfer market, then we have Mason Greenwood. Just come out and make a decision. Let us know what you know, because clear and obviously, if you read that statement that came from Athletic, the article says that you sitting on compelling evidence that's not available to the public yet, and if we knew what you knew, then we have a totally different opinion. So please, for everyone's sanity, because I've seen a lot of divide and conquer within the fan base, which are flipping, the knives are out, please make that announcement, at least have some clarity, let us know what's going on so we can move on as well. That's all I have to say about that one.
No! God, please, no! No! What?
And this leads me straight into point number 9, and it is the social media fan base already. Please stop whatever you're doing. Knives are out already. You're just gloating and waiting for an opportunity to throw the manager under the bus, or, I seen tweets about Garnacho. It's too too much actually. Listen, sit down. And even this media reports and accounts saying that if Mason Greenwood come back, I will not support the club, I will quit Manchester United. But maybe you're not a Manchester United fan after all, right? Who are you going to support then? Doesn't really make sense. Go support Liverpool for fuck's sake. Support the team. That's what we do here. I get that, but you know what? It's too early to throw your choice out of the Prem. I do understand the PTSD within fan base, that the automatic switch is to hit that panic button and throw your toys out the Prem. But right here, right now, we have to back the manager. We have to back the manager no matter what. The answer is not to sack the manager. We have seen the formula before, so please get off your pedestal and support the team, for fuck's sake. That's all I have to say about that one.
No! God, please, no! What?
Now this leads me directly to the final point. Point number 10 is all about Erik ten Hag and the system that he's trying to build. It's like Ralph Rangnick said, it's not cosmetic, it's an open heart surgery. So basically Ten Hag is trying to do the open heart surgery, and if you cannot see that, you are delusional, according to my opinion. There's a lot of out dead woods that he's trying to clear. He's trying to build a system that players still don't understand, as it is an adaptation curve period, time to understand a new system, because we used to play with 3-2-1 whatever formation, but now we are trying to play out from the back with Onana. Thank God, makes a difference. Onana is the difference. That's my point number 10 as well. So we're trying to play out from the back, trying to play with 6 up front with 2 number 8s and high press, and that involves a Rasmus Højlund with a striker that we don't really have as of yet. So what he's doing right now is trying to sort of get by until everyone is in the right fitness frame. And thank God, hopefully within the next 2 weeks we can get some more personnel in, because Ten Hag really needs players that fits his system. So please back the manager, please back the team, and don't throw your toys out the pram. Rome wasn't built in one day. Be cool and composed and see what Ten Hag is trying to do. That's all what I wanted to say. The 10 points and 10 commands is also down to you. This has been Mick Ruby from Mufc Realist TV. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I had my say, and hopefully I made your day. Peace, love, go banana. But in this case we say peace, love. Thank God we have Onana. Bye for now.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.